Have you ever had one of those moments where you walk into a place and suddenly get hit with the weirdest feeling? Like, wait, I've been here before. Not just the place, this exact moment. The way someone's standing, the conversation that's happening, the feeling in the room. For a second, it feels like you're replaying a memory, except you know you're not. And then the feeling disappears, just as fast as it showed up. It's weird because for those few seconds, you're completely convinced. Like if somebody asked you, have you experienced this before? Your brain would immediately go, yes. But then if they asked, okay, when? You'd have absolutely no idea. And that's what makes deja vu so strange. Because it's not a memory, it's the feeling of a memory. And those are two very different things. What's funny is that your brain is actually doing this kind of thing all the time. Think about it. Have you ever walked into a room and forgotten why you went there? Everybody has. Have you ever introduced yourself to someone and forgotten their name literally 5 seconds later? That too. Your brain is constantly making tiny mistakes. Most of them are boring. Deja vu just happens to be one of the really interesting ones. So, what actually causes it? Well, here's the frustrating answer. Nobody knows for sure. Seriously, scientists have been studying deja vu for decades, and even today, there's no single explanation that everyone agrees on. But there are a few theories, and one of them is honestly kind of hilarious. Your brain might accidentally process something twice. That's it. Imagine somebody taps you on the shoulder, then a split second later taps you again. The second tap feels familiar because, well, it is. Now, imagine your brain doing something similar with reality itself. Processing a moment, then processing it again so quickly that you don't even notice. Suddenly your brain goes, oh, I've seen this before. Because technically, it kind of has. Another theory is that your brain is doing what it's always trying to do, looking for patterns. Your brain absolutely loves patterns. It's basically a pattern finding machine. That's why you can recognize a friend's face instantly. It's why you know your house the second you see it. And it's why sometimes a completely new situation can accidentally feel familiar. Maybe the room you're standing in has a layout that's similar to somewhere you've been before. Maybe the conversation sounds vaguely like one you've already had. Maybe something about the moment reminds your brain of an older memory. Not enough for you to consciously notice it, but enough for your brain to go, hold on, I know this. And that's where things start getting weird. Because the feeling itself is incredibly convincing. You can know logically that you've never experienced that moment before. But emotionally, your brain doesn't care. It already made its decision. It's kind of like when you know a magic trick isn't real. You know you're being fooled. But your brain still experiences the illusion anyway. Deja vu feels a little like that, a mental illusion. And here's something else that's strange. Deja vu happens more often when you're younger, especially during your teens and 20s, which is kind of backwards. You'd think older people would experience it more. After all, they have more memories, more experiences, more chances to get confused. But for some reason, deja vu tends to become less common as people get older. Nobody is entirely sure why, and honestly, that just makes the whole thing even weirder. But my favorite part about deja vu isn't the mystery itself, it's what it reveals about the brain. Because every second of every day, your brain is trying to build a version of reality. It's taking in sounds, faces, voices, memories, and stitching everything together into one seamless experience. Most of the time, it does an incredible job. But every once in a while, something gets crossed. A wire gets mixed up, a signal arrives at the wrong time. And for a few seconds, your brain accidentally creates one of the strangest feelings a human can experience. The feeling that you've already lived a moment that is happening for the very first time. And maybe that's the weirdest part of all. Not that deja vu happens, but how easily your brain can convince you that something impossible is true, even if it's only for a few seconds. And then, just like that, it's gone.